Good morning. All right, here we go. It is now time for you to deliver your informative speech based on an international current event. Now, I've seen your specific purpose statements. I've approved many of them. They are all really good topics, and I certainly look forward to seeing these speeches. Oh, by the way, I just want to say thank you for everybody who checked in during the WebEx meetings. I know a lot of you couldn't, and that's understandable. And again, this wasn't required. But I'm still talking about it to my wife. My wife is like, "Shut up already, shut up." It was just so great to engage with you. As a matter of fact, not yesterday, Tuesday afternoon, we had a divisional meeting over WebEx. 96 people were on this WebEx meeting. You go page, and you've just got a screen full of people. But one of the things that a lot of people said is that they seem to do as much as they can with the WebEx because so many of them are like myself. They've never taught online before. So the opportunity to at least engage you is just a thrill. The only problem is I can't teach this synchronously because so many of you registered for the class, and then, of course, your life got turned upside down. As a matter of fact, my wife just heard today that the great food diner place, Ruby Tuesdays, has now just declared bankruptcy. Well, if you're in the middle of this class and you've got a night shift, like you had planned to take it during the day, and if I was holding class like Wednesday, Friday at 1:45 in the afternoon, when you can sit in front of a computer and then go work at Ruby Tuesdays at night for those great ribs that they have, well, guess what? Now your life is turned upside down because Ruby Tuesdays declared bankruptcy and will probably be closing its places very, very soon. Just like a couple of weeks ago when my wife was devastated because my daughter, who's about to turn 4, a lot of her clothes she buys at Century 21, which also just went out of business and closed its store in Morristown. And if you worked there and we were a synchronous class, then all of a sudden now you got to find a new job that might end up interfering. So during this crazy COVID, we'll stay with the asynchronous. We'll do the WebEx when we can. And if you can't make it, you can't make it. It's not something anybody can help. But I certainly did enjoy seeing and chatting with all of you. It was so cool. It really was. So the reason why I do this, people, is just to be able to engage with all of you. So anyway, let's get back to our speeches. So now I've gone ahead and I've reattached the speech outline format. So you can see how the speech is supposed to be organized, because I want to pay more attention now to the time breakdown. Is making sure as you're putting your speech together that you only have a certain amount of time for your attention gainer and your preview, each of your main points, and then your conclusion. Try to use that time breakdown as you're putting your speeches together. All right? So now when you do record yourself, all right, I want to make sure that, number one, do the best you can to open up and use a free YouTube account. It's just so much easier, people. Again, I've had more than a few times just recently as Summer 2 session, where people didn't have a YouTube account and then kept complaining to me, "I've tried to email you my video, but it's too big." No. Just upload it to your free YouTube account. Again, there are 12-year-olds who are getting 1 million views a day on YouTube with their accounts. So it's really not that difficult. Just don't let it overwhelm you. When you send me the link to your video, you'll also send me your full content outline. Now, I've seen quite a few of these already. They are excellent. Just make sure, people, that you're citing your sources verbally in the speech and in your outline, and that you have a bibliography at the end of your speech. Please, for a guide, look at the 3 that I sent you. Okay? Those 3 students did an excellent job with their speeches. I'm not saying they're perfect, but some of them were pretty good. Ashley's and Morel's were really, really good. So I want you to use them as a guide to help you as you're putting yours together. Now, what I've also sent you is, if we were face-to-face, this is the sheet that I would be using, the informative grade sheet. I'm going to use it as a guide when I grade your speeches, but I'm not going to use it directly because whether it's through Google Chrome or Docs or however it is, sometimes a lot of you don't have that. Some of you don't have the equipment for that. Because some of you are basically going off your phone when you're doing this whole semester. Which is fine, because I'm going to let you know a secret. I heard once that there was actually one of my fellow faculty members who was teaching their class through their phone. I'm sure they've gotten a machine now, like whether it's a laptop or a tablet or something, or even a desktop. But hey, we all got surprised by this, and this professor was doing the best they could. Again, when they told us, oh, by the way, you're not coming back from spring break, we're online the rest of the semester, it kind of took everybody by surprise. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a guide as I'm grading. So I want you to look it over, because these are the things that I'm going to be looking for. Okay, I'm going to be looking for, 2 main points: a good attention gainer to grab our attention, something about like 35, 40 seconds. At least 2 solid main points. Okay, and don't forget, if it's a time arrangement, your first main point's a little historical background. Your second main point, of course, is the current element to your speech, and of course the other formats are in your attachment. And make sure a conclusion, which reviews and then provides some form of closure, a bibliography, and then of course make sure that you're standing when you deliver your speech, just like I am right now. You're able to employ your gestures. You're able to make eye contact, and again, as we get further into this whole COVID thing, but even after COVID, I think this is really important. This is where it's going to be, people. This is where it's going to be. It's going to be a virtual world. And, one of the things, again, I don't know if it was, I know I saw it on like some political talk show, where they talked about how, sure, a lot of working class people, they said, have been hurting as compared to, white collar jobs. And that's what you guys are doing. You guys are in college to get yourself a white collar job. Well, you'll be sitting at desks and you're doing this kind of work. If you're not in construction, if you're not waiting tables, those people, of course, lost their job during COVID. But after COVID, hopefully their jobs will return. But a lot of the people who are working are doing it here. And like I said, it is my firm belief that when even after COVID goes away, that those people who own businesses or run businesses can't stand the cost of leasing office space. But if they can get the job done here, like they've been doing since this whole thing started in March, I believe this is how you're going to be doing presentations from now on. A lot of it. Especially, like I said, once you become well educated, and that's what you're here for. You're here at Bergen to then go on to a 4-year school, get your bachelor's degree, and who knows what else after that. I do believe a lot of your interaction from now on is going to be like this. So the eye contact, okay? You want to make sure. You don't want to be doing this, okay? You want to be right here. Now, I firmly believe you should have this on a table. Whether it's a laptop, I'm using a laptop right now, a laptop or a tablet, have it up on a table, and then this way you could have your full content outline down in front of you. I don't mind you referring to it. I don't want you to memorize your speech, all right? But at least it's here. You refer down here, refer down here. No problem, okay? No problem. But let's see what else. There's a couple of other things. But I think basically that's it. So what's going to happen is your speech and your outline are due to me by Wednesday, October 14th at 8 p.m. Okay? So I'm giving you a whole week. Take your time. If during this time you put your outline together, you want me to take a look at it, I'll take a look at it. I've already done that to a bunch of people. Okay? And then, of course, put it all together. Take your time. Now, what I don't want you to think you have to do is to record it. I don't like this recording. Let me record it again. I don't like this. No, I mean, just get as well as you can get. That's all. All right? Just get as well as you can get. Now, one thing about the grade sheet that you'll see, which you're not required, we're not going to do that yet, is you don't have to have a visual aid. Even though it does say so on the grade sheet, because we're virtual, you do not have to have a visual aid. All right? So here we go. All right, I'm really looking forward to these. Also, in your subject line, when you send your video and your full content outline to me, if you put the word okay, I'm going to try and share some of these with your classmates. Sometimes it's a little difficult, but we'll see. Okay? Also, your videos, please try not to make it private and lock me out. I got to be able to see it. All right? If worse comes to worse, you put it public. I don't think it's that bad a thing you put it public, but again, as soon as I grade it, you can then make it unpublic. But at least I'll be able to see it without having to email you back and say, it's on private, I can't watch it. So, all right. Your speeches are due by Wednesday evening, October 14th at 8 p.m. Take your time, put this together, time yourself out, and I look forward to your speeches.